again, Twitch. I'm back after a day break. It is me, Connor, aka Super Mega Man 10 here, and we are back at it with the puzzle today. And hopefully, maybe I could get more of it done today while talking to you guys, and hopefully, maybe get close to being done, or maybe done if I do it right. But yeah, I hope that I can get this more complete today so that I can be able to do another puzzle journey tomorrow. And if not, then maybe I can try doing a Dead by Daylight stream a little bit early because I did say that on the 27th that I would do one for the Stranger Things update. But I guess I can do one uh, a bit early just to give it a try at least because it's been a while since I played. So yeah. So today's stream we are continuing the puzzle as usual, and yeah, let's get right on to it. Hold up. Hold on a second. I got a message in. There's a message here that I want to get rid of because this is a because somebody is trying to get me to use a website to get views on here, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna do that. So hold on, I need a. Because I really want to get rid of this specific one. Oh, there we go. What? Why did that not work? Come on, seriously? I really want to get rid of this message because I'm not going to be doing that. Well, I guess that's just going to be stuck there for the entire chat. That is annoying that there are people out there that are trying to get people to that there are that it's kind of crazy to believe that there are people out there who actually use these websites and like get views. It's like, first of all, I'm starting out. I know that there's nobody talking here. Why are you giving me this? Like, it's so stupid to see that there are people using fake or using websites to get fake viewers and chatters, and it's like, that isn't correct. You're cheating. Why are you doing it? Like I know that I'm small and I don't have like a lot of viewers or chatters at the moment, but like I'm working up to that. I'm not like going to cheat the system. I'm going to take the time to actually get the viewers that I want and the chatters that I want. So please leave me alone and stop talking to me, please. And thank you. Yes. It's just very annoying that I had to get that message. Especially when I got another one of like a week ago. And I made a TikTok about it, about how like somebody got into my chat when I was done with streaming for that day and chatted about a website that I can get viewers and followers, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a cheater. I'm not cheating streaming. Like, I'm not going to be cheating on Twitch, so please back off, leave me alone, and don't ever talk to me again. And yet, as soon as I started this, somebody put that in my chat, and it's annoying. Because I ain't cheating. I'm not a cheater at Twitch. It's not cool. It's not going to work for me, so please back off and leave me alone. Something I've been seeing lately. Shout out Kaisenet for the 200 gifted. Hi Rem, welcome back. Speaking of Kai, I was just about to say, like, recently he's been posting again after some time of not actually saying anything on the internet, not streaming in a while. And I think what he's doing is really good, because like it is good to be taking care of like your mental health, yourself, and also having to take a break from doing that kind of thing. I did it. Like, even though I'm just starting out, I actually took a break from it for a little bit, because I streamed for like 6 days straight when this year started. 6 days. Like, it is insane that I was actually able to handle it, but I did stream for a small period of time. But like, I wasn't going to probably handle doing that all the time, so definitely last week doing that stream, then taking a break for a week, and then coming back this Tuesday, I think that was a really good idea for me to do. And setting up this whole schedule, like, that was also really helpful for me too, because now I can be able to think about when I am going to be available on these certain days. And also, like, have like something to look forward to during the week. And also have time to just like wind down for like a day or two from streaming on Twitch. And I think, and a lot of people are saying that Kai quit streaming, but if you watch one of his videos on his secret YouTube channel, Kai's Mind, he does talk about like he still wants to do it. Like, he still wants to do streaming and stuff like that, but he wants to like do it in a way where he can still take care of himself as well. And I think that is a really good thing too. But there are people out there who believe that like he's quitting, he's done streaming, and I do not believe that Kai is done with streaming, because he's really good at it and it made him really successful. And I think kind of doing streaming while also this new clothing brand that he's doing, like, I think it would be interesting to hear him talk about that kind of stuff on like streams, and kind of hear like, what he's been up to, what he's planning, and all that stuff. So I think that he's still gonna be able to do Twitch, still stream, and hopefully he will come back at some point later this year and do a stream and maybe talk about like what he's kind of been up to, what he's doing, what he's planning to do, and all that kind of stuff. And there are people out there saying that what he's doing is like there are people out there actually laughing at like how he's like reading to fit like to have a better speech, and it's like that. Why are you laughing about that? Like that's a good thing that he's actually reading like something to help him get better at talking. Like I would if I would probably do that if I needed to. I would probably do that. Like probably pick up a dictionary or maybe another book and probably take the time to like get better at my speech. Like that what he's doing is good. And I don't understand why there are people out there like laughing about that. If you were in his situation, would he be laughing at you? Like would other you like you would probably be laughed at as well. Would you like that? I don't think so. So I think what Kai's been doing lately is really good, and I hope that he will get better at his speech. And I hope that his new clothing brand is successful. I did see some of the stuff. It is really interesting, and he did say that his clothing brand has a lot of meaning to it. So I like that how like he's doing this while also adding in some meaning to his fashion. So I hope that he does a really great job at this new clothing brand. It does look really cool, and I hope that it becomes a very trendy clothing brand and also becomes very successful. I I hope that Kai does well with this clothing brand. And to the people that are laughing about this, about what Kai's doing and what he's been through, I mean, what would you do in this situation? Will you be buying any of it? If it's not too expensive, then maybe. If there's something that I might like, that if there's something on there that I might like, then maybe. I would say maybe, Rem. It's a maybe because it does look cool. That I did kind of see like the stuff that he had, like some of the symbols he put on. It does look cool. I might have to look up like what I might have to figure out what some of it means because he did say that some of it does have meaning. But if there is something that I like from this brand, I'd say maybe. It is a maybe. If there's something there, then probably yes. If there's something there that I might like, then yeah, I would buy it. And plus, I do like fashion. It is something I don't really talk about as much, but like it is something that interests me. Like I like certain like clothing and like how it looks on me, and I do like different styles of fashion. And I think if I were to try wearing some of them, I think I would look nice in it. And plus, I like dressing up for like certain occasions because that's just me. I like fit to be fit for like certain occasions. So that's just me though. That's just that's just kind of me. Uh, what's something good to talk about here? Uh, Today at my school, we had to do like this whole expo thing where all like of the other techs in my school come together and kind of show off what they do to the middle schoolers that are going to be coming in the next few years. And it was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. But the kids there, uh, they were something because most of them kept asking us where, because like there was like a little piece of paper that they had to get signed. They kept asking us, "Oh, where do I get this sign?" And they tried giving it to us, the people that were at the table, but we always had to keep telling them that like you would have to go to the, like we kept saying, go to those two people. Like it should be, I feel like it should have been pretty obvious where to get it signed because there are two people that aren't behind the table serving food and wearing outfits and wearing an outfit that should be pretty obvious to tell that they're part of this part of my tech. So like it should be pretty obvious that they're right there, that you should get your stuff signed right there. And it's like, are you seriously kidding me? Like, do you not see the two people in front of the tables right there? And then my teacher had to come over to take over for a little bit, and like all of the like middle schoolers started like walking over to him. And it's like, you serious? They can recognize our teacher for this class. Okay, thank you. But you can't recognize that. You can recognize that the teacher who's wearing an outfit based on our class is going to, you can recognize him, but you can't recognize a student that's basically in the same outfit. Like, you kidding me? Like, how? And also they also, and also there was a kid asking us, "Oh, what class is this?" And it's like, there is a sign that tells you, like right behind us. Like that generally confuses me that these kids are asking us so obvious questions. Like, how can you not tell what class this is? Do you not see the sign that's like literally posted right behind us? Like, seriously? Like, do you seriously need to check your vision or like get glasses? Because like, how can you not tell what class this is? And also, plus, there are subtle clues to exactly what class you're talking to. There's food on the table. We are wearing chef outfits. So I think you could tell that this is culinary and not any other class. Like, it's generally insane that I had to deal with kids who had to keep asking us so obvious questions. Like, and I also had to respond to a kid who asked the most easiest question to actually just instantly know the answer to. He asked me, "Do you get to cook in culinary?" It's culinary, so yeah. Like seriously, how can you not tell that you can cook in a culinary class? If if like literally, it's culinary. What else would you be doing in culinary? Like, like seriously? You're asking me, do you get to cook in culinary? Of course you get to cook in culinary. It's culinary. What else would you be doing in culinary? Like, bruh. But it was a fun event, and I did get to see some of my old teachers from middle school for at least one last time before I graduate. It was a cool event, but they're like most of the time they were just really stupid moments that we had to deal with during the whole thing, and like it's just bruh. Yeah. Okay. Got more pieces connected. What is something good to talk about? Uh, Something I talked about in something that me, BCA, and Rem talked about in our Patreon break room episode last night was talking about like how video games don't need like too like certain video games shouldn't be needing too much like shading or graphics and stuff because like if like because some games they shouldn't really like certain types of games and also depending on what the graphics are for that game like the um, design of the game like like the graphic design of the game like it shouldn't be needing a lot of like shading or like work put into the design of it. It should be mostly more in the gameplay. It is something to really think about when it comes to like making a video game of some sorts because like a game shouldn't be having too much graphics. It should be more on the gameplay itself. And an example of of something like that is a Roblox game that's has really bad graphics, like the animate like the character designs, the and the areas in this Roblox game are very bad, but the game is scary, well, slightly scary, but also funny at the same time. And this is the game where it's either you play as Homer and kill the other Barts, or you play as Bart and like you have to run away from Homer. Like that game looks extremely fun to play, and if I were to ever like play it again, I would play that specifically. And like even though the game looks extremely crappy, the gameplay is actually fun, and it's like a game that you can get like a lot of clips out of, and like that's the type of game that's just like perfect and proves that less can be more, and also does prove the argument that certain types of games don't need too much work put onto like certain stuff like graphics and like character design and like designs and all that because like if you're because like depending on the game that you're trying to make like if like depending on if it's like a shooter or like one of those games where you take scenic pictures like like it the the design like shading the design of the game like the graphic design of the game should have like a certain point where it's like okay this is good enough. We don't need too much shading, we don't need too much lighting. This is good enough. Like it shouldn't be needing too much of it. and this is something that, and you can kind of see it with like other games that are being released now. Like they have good, like like they have a, like the gameplay does look good, like it will have probably like an interesting gameplay, but like it will look like they spent more time on the graphics than the actual gameplay itself. And like that is something that you shouldn't have not been paying more attention to, because when you play a game, you just want to play a game. You don't want to be hooked on like the graphics. You just want to be hooked on the gameplay. Like it doesn't need to be, certain games don't need to be too realistic to play. Like if I wanted to play like a game that looks extremely crappy but actually plays like has a really good gameplay, then I would play that cuz I want to play the game. And if I wanted to play a game where it's like looking at certain sceneries and taking pictures of sceneries, because I know those games exist, then that's where I would be talking about like that's where realism would come into play. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But it does sometimes come into play depending on what the game looks like. But like it shouldn't really matter how much real, like it shouldn't be that realistic to begin with. It's a game. It doesn't need to be too realistic to be good. It just needs to have a good gameplay. It needs to have good gameplay. Like that's what games should be mostly like focusing on. Like you can have, yeah, like you can put in a nice design for the game, but you don't need to be putting in too much time, you know? Like if you have an idea, then you can make whatever you want with it, but you don't need to be adding too much stuff to it. If you think that the game has reached a certain point with graphics, then like then you should probably say like, oh, this the graphics for this game look okay. Let's continue on with the gameplay. Like these are really things that new, like when it comes to like making when it comes to like new games coming out, because I think games lately have been trying too much. Like they're trying too much to make the game look real, and like I don't think the game, like for this game, I don't think it needs to be that real. Like it should just be like it can have good graphics, but it doesn't need to have too much good graphics. It just needs to have good graphics, but the gameplay has to be more good than the graphics, because that's what makes the game the game. If you were looking at the if you were just looking through the lens of gameplay. And that's really what a lot of games need to just be focusing on, is more of the gameplay than graphics. Because sometimes a game does not need to have too much graphics to make it good. The gameplay is what makes the game, not the graphics. And if it were the case for a game to be based on like the graphics, then it would have to be like some sort of sightseeing type game. But for other games, graphics, you can have good graphics, but the graphics would not really matter. What really matters is the gameplay itself. Because people just want to play a game. Whether that game is with other people, like if it's like with multiple people with friends, by yourself, like that's what all it really matters is how many people talk about playing the game with friends is, and not on the graphics. Because you can, yes, you can have good graphics, but like nobody's going to be really talking about that. It people are mostly going to be talking about the gameplay, because that's what actually matters when it comes to video games. Sorry that you guys are hearing devices going off. I'm getting notifications, and my iPad, since it's really old, sometimes the messages will come in late. Sorry about that. Uh, Another topic that me, Rem, and BCA talked about during a recording is talking about how schools should change the way they are, because like when it comes like because it's like you're because like when you're in kindergarten through 8th grade, I feel like learning all like the subjects like math, ELA, history, and science, like it's perfectly fine. But when it gets to like high school, 9 through 12, it's like, okay, I think we get the point. And like, can we learn stuff that's actually going to be useful when we leave high school? I feel like that should I feel like the school system, like the way the schools work, should actually change. Like it should be like through K through 8, you learn science, math, ELA, and history, all that stuff, and some of the other classes that are part of those grades. Well, when it comes to 9 through 12, probably keep learning about math and ELA, because those two topics are really important for the real world. But other classes be like stuff that the student actually wants to learn, if they want to, like stuff that students should be actually learning when they go out into the real world, because that stuff is actually going to be useful to us when we leave high school. Like if you want to learn like history or science, and that's like your passion, and you want to do that when you leave high school, then like I guess have it like as an option, but don't have it as like a actual class to be teaching during during school, because like okay, like is this really going to be useful for me in any other situation? If you want to learn like science and stuff like that, and that's like something you want to learn, and want to do stuff with that information when you leave high school, then you can go do that. I mean, I'm not stopping you from doing that. If you want to do that, that's you. But like this is something that not everybody should be learning when they're in high school, because like what's really the point of learning this anyway? Like I feel like there things do need to change in like how school works for different grades, cuz like I feel like we should be learning like kids should be actually be learning stuff in high school that's actually going to be useful for them. Like ELA and math, that's those are useful things, because that is something we all need to use. But like we should be getting learning about classes that are we should be having classes that actually teach us real world stuff, like uh, an actual driving class. No math, boo. Well, I'm sorry, Ren, but that's just me because like math is something that a lot of people do need to learn because it is something that we need in real life. Like we do need to know how to count, and plus ELA is also a really important thing to learn because that's how you are able to understand words and other people and like what other people are talking about. But that is just me saying it. But we should be actually having in school actual driving classes. Like we don't need to go to like a DMV to like it should be changed so that way like when you get to the point when you're like 16 in high school, you should have the ability to learn how to drive in school, like actually take driving lessons, classes, take the driver's test, and actually get like your license in high school. It would like be so much better than actually going to like a DMV or like an actual driving school. Driving school is the worse than hell. I'd rather be sent to eternal damnation. Like I feel like high school should actually be where you actually learn actually learn how to drive. Because like that is a skill that almost everybody needs to learn. I know that I have to, even though I don't want to drive, but I have to learn how to do it. And plus, it would be so much better than actually having to go to like a DMV to take your take driver's tests and actually take like driving lessons. Like it would be so much easier than having to pay so much money just to pay to drive, like actually having to pay to do all this stuff. And plus, it would be so much easier on us because we're learning it in school and not on our own time. Like, I feel like learning how to drive should be like an actual high school curriculum. And like, you are able to get like your license at school because like that would be actually so much easier than having to do all these things. Like you can take the class for like the next few years over the next few years and like kind of do like some driving and like during the summer, but like I feel like getting your license should actually be a thing that you should be getting in school. That is actually something that would be useful to actually get from school, and that's something that you can use in the real world. Because like when you graduate high school, you leave with a little diploma that says, "Oh, you graduated from this school." Exactly is that going to be useful to you for the rest of your life? Something that's actually going to be useful for the rest of your life is a driver's license. And sure, you can go to like have places where you can renew your license, but like school should actually be a place where you actually get your driver's license. Like it makes more sense than having to go to like a DMV or driving school to get your license. And if you don't want to learn how to drive in school, then like that's really kind of your fault. Then you have to go like if like DMVs, like if there are DMVs, or no, actually driving should be like like a full on you need to take this class. Like I feel like driving should be like a class that you actually take during maybe probably during through high school when you reach the age of like 16 or like 15 and a half. Like I feel like driving should be like something that should be an available class to learn in school. than actually having to pay so much money to like do all these other things. If I were to talk to somebody else about it, they would probably help me with actually talking about it with me. But like like because I'm having a little bit of a hard time explaining it, but like I think that schools should actually start like having classes where you actually learn how to drive, and once you actually know, like once you've learned to actually like drive a car and like pass the test, driver's test, then you would graduate with a driver's license, and then like you eventually you have to go to a place where you actually need to renew it. But I think that is a better idea than actually having to do it out, like take driving lessons outside of school, and having to be paying so much money to like do all this stuff. And it would probably be so much easier on people and teenagers turning like that are like 15 and a half, 16, when they like that would be useful for those for students who are like 15 and a half and through 16 to start learning while in school, and then once they graduate get their like high school diploma plus their driver's license. It would like that would be so much easier for a lot of people. And plus you can all and also for like homework for the driving lesson classes in high school, you can you can do like driving tests outside of school. Like have a little recording sheet and like record how long you were practicing driving, how long you were out on the road for, and then pass it into the teacher. I feel like that makes a lot more sense than having to do all these other things and plus pay so much money for it. Like it sucks now that we have to be paying so much money just to live, but it's insane that we have to be it's insane now for like teenagers to have to be paying for like driving lessons during like these times of like having money. So I feel like having driving schools inside of high schools would make a lot like make teenagers' lives a lot more easier on them. And like and if you and I think that like if you failed the driving test in school, there should be DMVs like out there, but it would kind of be like the definition of a GED, where a, with a GED it's like, oh, you didn't graduate high school, oh, here's this, something that's basically like a high school diploma, and it's usually for people who didn't graduate high school. And I feel like DMV should be like something exactly the same way. It's something that if you failed to pass your driver's test in high school and didn't get your license when you graduated, here's this place that you can go to basically get a version of a GED but with a license or with like a driving test. That's what DMVs should be like a basic, like another version of a GED, but for driving. It's a really that's just sort of a concept that I just kind of created just now. And I think that would actually be so much. That would actually make a lot more sense to actually have DMVs to actually go to a DMV. Okay. Uh, let's see here. Nope, that doesn't go there. Okay, still trying to figure out where pieces go. The idea of like having like like actually learning how to drive in high school would probably make a lot more sense for being in high school than driving, and then instead of like learning how to drive when you're not in school. Like it makes a lot more sense to be learning, like putting driving schools, like actually putting driving lessons in high schools than just actually having driving lessons outside of school. Because when it comes to school, it's somewhere you should be, like when it comes to high school, it should be a place where you should be learning actual real life stuff, and driving is one of them. So it would make a lot more sense if driving was a something you like high school lesson, like not high school lesson, driving lessons is something that you should take in high school. It makes a lot more sense than actually going to a place to pay so much money to learn, just to be able to learn how to drive and take a test and get your license. I feel like school should actually be a place like high school should be the reason why you learn how to drive, and also learn how to like do all that stuff, be able to do it at home as like homework, and then when you graduate you get your license. And for those who weren't actually able to pass the driving lesson class, can do a like basically do a like go to a DMV and get a GED version of like and like be able to go to like a DMV and like do that stuff, and it would just be the basic definition of a GED but with your driver's license. Like it's a really interesting concept. But yeah, like to kind of go back to the topic, even though to go back to the topic, I think like schools need to change the way of how they teach us things at certain grade levels. Because like when we get to like when you're in kindergarten to when you're in K through 8, it makes a lot of sense to be learning about all four subjects: math, ELA, science, and history. But when you get to high school, it does, like, it's just sort of a repetition. Like, okay, we get the point. Why aren't we learning anything useful? Like, but like, we should still be able to have like math and ELA classes, like have like some form of like ELA and math classes that actually fit in with the real world, but have like history and science classes and history and science classes as options for people who like those types of classes and would like to do stuff around it. If they want to do like science, or like want to like be a person who learns about like who actually talks about history, or wants to be like a scientist and stuff like that, they can take those classes if they choose to. And it shouldn't have to be like a thing that everybody should be taking, because we all basically understand that, like, we already basically understand all this stuff. Why do we need to keep continue learning a topic that we just sort of already know by now? And I think, but like when it comes to like math and ELA, we should still have those, but they should be mixed some way that it actually teaches you actual real life skills. And there should be other classes, like we still should have like technical programs, like being able to go to like a culinary class, or carpentry, electrical, CAD, uh, cosmetology. Like, we should still have tech classes for people who want to have like some sort of career in those fields. And also have like classes that actually teach you how to actually live on your own, and also how to be able to do like pay for mortgages, pay for, like how to pay bills, and as I was talking before, how to learn how to drive. Like, that's what high school should be really all about. But instead, it's still basically the same old, oh, learn science, history, ELA, and math, and like you'll be able to pass. And plus, have all these other classes too. And also, we should still be able to have like gym and health classes as well, because because people still need to learn that taking like having to be able to take care of your health, taking care of yourself, like taking care of your mental health, like taking care of your body, doing exercises is an important thing that everybody should be learning about. And plus, we should still have like still have like sports and clubs. But yeah, I think we need to change the way how high school kind of works now, and maybe also like middle school and elementary school too, because I feel like there are some things that need to be put in place for like those grades. Like, for example, I feel like we should have less technology, like the students have less access to technology, and as they go through the year, they should have little at like have times where they get access to like the internet or computers to do like online learning, like be able to do learn stuff online, like go into like learning websites and stuff like that. But it should all be mostly hands-on learning, and the teacher is the only person within the class to actually have access to the internet. because that's how the teacher will be able to grade and all, like be able to grade the students, be able to access like all of their learning stuff, and also be able to access like YouTube to be like to put on like some sort of educational video. I feel like that's the kind of thing that should be happening in like some of the lower grades. But then when you get to like like probably elementary school, but when you get to like middle school, the students should have little access to it, like have little like enough access to do like some online work, but not and like watch educational videos or go into educational websites. But it should have a limit to where the student shouldn't access too much of it, and the teacher only has access to everything. But when it comes to like high school, I feel like that's where it should be like sort of the same, but high schoolers get a little bit more access than middle schoolers. Like it's like they basically have the same access to the internet, but high schoolers have a little bit more of it than middle schoolers. But that's just sort of what I'm thinking. But like school, I feel like school does need to change because like at this point what we have in place isn't really as useful now than it did back in the day, like way back in the day. Because with everything, with all this new technology and people wanting to start actually doing what they want to do, I feel like school should change so that way it should like be able to let us do that and actually have us learn stuff that is going to be useful in the real world than the stuff we've been learning for like the past it's like for the past like few like for a very long time. Like school, I feel like school does need to like change their way of learning children, like teaching students how to do things, and also kind of change how the educational system works. Because like at like the times we live in now, it's like is does this doesn't seem to be like it just seems a bit repetitive. Like I feel like we need to change like something at least so that students when they leave high school they actually learn something that's actually going to be useful to them than just all the same old, oh you learned how to do trigonometry or learn how to factor. Like really exactly when am I going, if I was like a mathematician then like yeah that would be useful, but like I'm not. But why is this useful? Exactly how is this going to be useful to me in the real world? I'm not interested in this kind of stuff. Like, can you teach me? Like, I feel like I should be learning how to actually pay. Like, how do I figure out how taxes and bills work? Like, how to be able to learn how to pay, like learn how to count up, like basically counting up money and basically how to use math to actually figure out how much you need to pay for like something like a bill or taxes and stuff like that. Hold on, let me turn on the light here because really, that's most of the stuff they learn, like they're teaching us in school. It's like it's not really that useful at all. If it were for like a like if you wanted to be like a math teacher or like a mathematician, then like yeah, that's actually something you do need to learn. But like for somebody who doesn't want to do that and wants to actually do something else, like I feel like they should be learning about how to count up like how to count up money, and also how to use this same, like how to do that with like paying for like bills and all that kind of stuff, because that stuff is actually going to be useful while being in the real world. And I also think that there should be certain top, like in kindergarten and like in the early grades, like I feel like there should be topics that should be taught to kids, and also other stuff that like, and also there should be stuff that teach like, hold on, there should be uh, yeah, students should be learning. There should be, oh my god, ugh. I'm trying to put in words, but like it's not coming out as right. There should be certain topics that students in younger grades should be learning, and topics that shouldn't be taught to kids in younger grades. Like reading an analog clock should be something that kids should be learning how to read, and not like to understand how like to learn how to read an analog clock, because we still have those. There's still some being made, like there's still analog clocks being made. This is, and also this is like some, and there's still some out there. This is something that kids should be learning, because there are actual kids in our like in the generation we're in right now, like today, that actually don't even know how to read an analog clock. Like they have trouble reading it, because they can just look at like their Apple Watch or their phone and just say, "Oh, it's this time." But what are you going to do? But like, since you're not supposed to have your phone during the class, you have to be using the analog clock to read the time. So you need to know how to read the time to do that. And I know that there's like they switch to digital, like they have clocks now that are like digital, but like I feel like we still need to know how to learn how to read analog clocks, because that is something that everybody should know how to learn, because we've had analog clocks for such a long time, and we still have them today. This is something that everyone in the world should be like still know how to, like this is a skill that everybody should still know, because it's still there. Like you like you need to learn this stuff, because if like the internet goes out, what else are you supposed to be using to tell time? So having the skills to know how to read an analog clock is is something that's going to be very useful to you in the future. And also tying your shoes. Like there are kids who actually don't know how to actually tie their shoes. Like since students are like, since people are wearing like laceless shoes more now, like some people don't even know how to read, like no don't know how to tie their shoes. This is a skill that everybody should know how to tie their shoes, because you can also use that same technique to tie up knots as well, like be able to tie other things that might require you to use that might require you to tighten up something. Like with an apron, like I use that same technique to tie my apron around my back, because that's how it stays on my back during culinary. there are a lot of other skills that that should still be taught in class, but there's a little bit too much that I want to get into that. But there are like topics that kids shouldn't be really be taught nowadays. Like for example, cursive. Like if you want to learn how to write in cursive, that like you can do that on your own. Be my guest. But like teaching that to kids, I don't think that should be a thing. Because like that's cursive is like sort of a dead writing, and like being able to read cursive, like yeah, it is kind of like it is a little bit hard depending on if somebody has really bad handwriting. But if somebody has really good handwriting, I think you can be able to like read cursive. Like if I were to see cursive and it was written by somebody who has really good handwriting, then like I would actually be able to understand it. But if somebody has like bad handwriting, then I wouldn't be able to. But cursive is something that I don't think that um, students nowadays, like kids nowadays, should be learning how to. Like this is something that teachers shouldn't be teaching kids in school anymore, because like really, who's gonna be using cursive nowadays? Not a lot of people use it anymore, so like I feel like it should just not be taught in school anymore. If you guys have like other like if you guys have other topics in mind that should or should not be taught in school, then you can leave that down in the comments below if you are watching this rerun of this broadcast. But yeah, there are a lot of other topics out there that should and shouldn't be taught in school. If you guys know any of them, please put them down in the comments below. But yeah, there should be stuff that's student like kids should not be taught in school anymore, because really what's the point? But there should be like other lessons that should actually be taught in school. There's like if if I actually knew, like I know some stuff, but like I don't know the whole, like don't know the whole. If I were to talk about more about this in conversation, but like if you guys know any topics that you think that should and should not be taught in school, then leave it down in the comments below if you're watching this rerun. But just kind of get to the point of this topic I've been talking about. There should be a lot of things. There should be some changes in schools, like the way that we're learning in school. Like we should be able to keep some things within the educational system, but we need to change most of it, because like it is because like some of the things that we are being taught in school aren't going to be as useful for the real world. But there are other topics that should still be taught in school that should that are actually but there should be topics. We need to change the way high school works, because most of the stuff we learn in high school, some of it is useful, but not all of it is. And I think we should be having classes that actually teach us real life skills instead of learning how to factor. Because like really, how is factoring going to help you in the real world? There's a whole lot of more stuff about this topic, but I'm not gonna try and go into too deep into that, because like I'm kind of having a hard time trying to say it. But if you guys have any like other, if you guys have any other ideas or like have like opinions about this topic and you want to say something, please be my guest and leave it down in the comments below. If you are watching the rerun, as I said before, like 2 times already. And yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about this topic because like I need to right now. I'm going to be right back. I just need to use the bathroom real quick. Hold on. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for the little interruption right there. I just had to use the bathroom real quick. But yeah, let's continue on with the puzzle. Should probably try and focus a little bit more on it than talking because I am getting some of it done, but it's like taking me a while to get it done. Actually, you know what? I am going to get the photo out because I need to see the photo so that way I can get a better view of what I'm trying to build. What I'm trying to accomplish here. Actually, you know what I can do is if it doesn't block, no, it might block the camera. Oh, Actually, that's actually a little bit better. Okay, so hold on. This goes over here. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I want to happen at all. I do not want pieces breaking and falling off the desk, table. Wait a minute. Can this go here? Oh my god, it does. Yes, I'm finding more pieces. I'm finding more section of this puzzle that actually connect with the bigger section of this puzzle that I already have built so far. Okay. Perfect. Got another piece in. Oh, actually, you know what? I might do this. Because I need to start trying to get these. Try and get this upper part going. Have you guys for people who are on TikTok, have you guys been seeing the edits of the polar bears? Because I've been getting them a lot lately. Like, I'm not opposed to it because, like, yeah, this is kind of a serious issue that we need to be dealing with because since we're using so much AI, like it is causing things to change within the Arctic, and the capsules are starting to melt, and polar bears like seeing those videos of the polar bears is kind of sad because like they should not be looking that like they shouldn't be that wet at all. Like their fur should not be drenched in water. They should be all fluffy, and yet they're not because of how the ice capsules are melting up in the area due to the fact that we're using, since we have all these AI data centers, and it's causing things in the environment to change. It's like why are we using and it just sucks that we're making all this AI content and it's ruining the environment for polar bears. And polar bears are cute. Like even though they're bears, but they're still cute. They're still cute to look at. And it is kind of sad that where they live is starting to unfreeze, and it's mostly becoming water, and it's like, oh, like these are the consequences of us letting AI becoming like this huge thing that we use in the world or in our daily lives, and corporations are starting to use this more and more to replace people, which is also a topic that should be looked at because like it is tough for a lot of people to be getting jobs nowadays, and like they're starting to use it to replace everybody, and then like there's more of these data centers starting to pop up, and and it's changing the way the environment, like changing how the environment is like looks now. Like it's affecting water. It's affecting water. Like specifically, like it is affecting water. That is something that is really affecting people. It is also affecting temperatures because of how like the ice capsule like ice is starting to like melt more up in like the colder areas, and it's like just not cool that we are destroyed like AI is destroying homes for like these creatures that also live on this planet too, and it's like it's just kind of really upsetting to think about because they also live here. That's their home, and yet it's all starting to go away because of AI. And this is kind of why I'm not like as big of a fan of AI. It's because it's affecting our way of life. And it should not do that. It should have been just this little simple minded tool that just helps people answer dumb questions more easily, and also be a way to kind of give out hints and tips on how to do certain stuff. But but it's not like that. People are using it to it has advanced too much, and now it's able to, and it's doing stuff that it should have not been doing in the first place, like replacing people. I feel like AI should have not been. I feel like that wasn't the plan for AI. It should have just been. It shouldn't. I don't think. I wish that AI did not advance to like. I don't. I wish that AI did not advance the way it is now, because like it is affecting a lot of us, especially for those who are just getting out of high school. Like this is something that we really need to try and fix, and also try and dumb down. Like AI does need to be dumbed down significantly, because it shouldn't be doing this. We should not be letting AI be doing things that a human could do perfectly fine. And yet it has gone a bit too far, in my opinion. I'm just looking for all the right setup pieces, because I need more of these pieces to help me complete the section that I want to complete. Like, I'm probably thinking that there are a lot of people out there who might feel the same way about AI as I do, because this is sort of a really big issue that I think a lot of us need to be paying attention to, because like it is affecting almost every one of us in bad ways. And like it is, and especially with children too. Like this is also affecting the newer generation of children, because like they think that it's just something that they can just basically use every single day, and it's ruining their way of, it's ruining their brain development, and also losing their way of being creative, because like that's really what human life is about, is being creative. Like, how do you think we have all these cool things that we have now? Like, we have all these things because we were creative. Like, how do you think we got chairs and like tables and stuff? That we had to be creative to get to be able to actually have this thing that we use basically almost every day to be able to do other things. Like almost all everything on Earth was all created by human creativity. Like art is like a great example of that. How do you think we got some of the most famous art pieces? Like we were creative. And yet now that AI is a thing, and almost basically in everything, kids are using it to just draw simple pictures. Like there was a video I saw where this girl asked this little AI box to draw a picture of a butterfly on top of a Christmas tree. Like that is insane that a girl chose AI instead of actually doing it herself. Like I could probably draw a picture of a butterfly on top of a Christmas tree. It might look decent, but like I actually made it and I thought about it and did my best to actually draw it on paper. And like that is being creative, and yet this little girl decided to use a little AI box to draw it for her. Like that is something that we should not be letting the newer generation to use to be creative. Is using an AI box just to draw an image. Like there are a lot of things that AI should not that AI shouldn't be doing because we humans can do it way better. And plus it is our ideas. Like if you wanted to draw something on your own, then like that is like you have the idea, like that is your idea. You thought of this little idea of what you wanted to draw, and you think about like, oh, what's it gonna look like? That is being creative, and then you draw it out, and then you get a nice picture. That is being creative. But with AI, it's just taking stuff that already exists, and then it uses its out like little. Then it just uses it and then makes like this really bad image. It may look good, but you can tell it's bad. Like people would prefer this over an actual human. Like come on. Hold on. This is another topic I can talk about. I think I need to stop talking about like that kind of stuff. I need to stop with it for a little bit because I don't think that's good to be keep constantly talking about bad stuff. What is something good? What is a good topic to talk about? Adventure Time, the second wave of Adventure Time is coming out today in Fortnite. It is really interesting that they're doing another Adventure Time collab. Because I did like it when it first came out back in the spring of 2025. Like it was a really surprising to me that they collabed with Cartoon Network. And it was really cool how they were able to do the collabs with the skins and all the other cosmetic items. Like, it was really cool. And with like, in this second wave, we got Fiona and Cake, which is the other version of Finn and Jake, and we also got Ice King, which is really interesting because, like, yes, yeah, last night when I was talking about it, BCA thought like it was going to be like a huge hitbox, but no, it's just him in a suit, which is a reference to an episode to the show. It was like, it's interesting how they're taking references to taking outfit references from the show to actually be able to put this character into the game. And the lemon garb, like, that, it is really cool, but it is kind of sad that we're not getting the unacceptable quote that we all know and love, because, well, for some of you that don't know about what happened to the actual voice actor who actually said that line, he did something really bad to his wife and got canceled. And also he was the same person who voice acts as Rick and Morty. So they had to change their voices for like the new season. And plus, especially for Lemon Garb, they didn't want that in the game because of the actor himself, so they had to get another person. I don't know who, but they got a different person to say the line. Like, you can kind of see that they tried to get the voice, but it wasn't exactly the actual voice, but they tried their best. And it is kind of good that they didn't actually do a collab. Like, they didn't actually get the actual voice line, because that would have, to the actual person, because like that would have been a really tough like situation to think of. Like, that would be kind of like some, I don't know what I'm saying now. It would have been a bit of a weird situation for Epic to face, probably for lawsuits and stuff. But it was a good idea. It was good that they thought about that and actually did something about it, and got like a different person to say the line. Because I think it would have been a bit of a sticky situation for Epic if they actually got the original voice actor's line, because of what he did. But I think the second wave of Adventure Time is really cool. I don't know if I will get it, but it is pretty cool that they did another wave for Adventure Time, because Adventure Time is a good show, and plus with Fiona and Cake also being a show too, like that, it does look. I've seen clips of it. It does look like a good show, and it is interesting how they are collabing with this TV show, because this is really, actually, yeah, there are some adult jokes in Adventure Time, so I kind of see how they could kind of fit it in there, and also in Fiona Cake they do kind of get a bit adulty. Hey, hello there, Foyo Kill underscore YT. How you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing great today. I'm just enjoying this puzzle that I've been working on for the past 2 streams. Yeah, the past 2 streams. I've been working hard on this puzzle while chatting to Twitch. That's nice. Yes, indeed it is. I was just talking about the second wave of Fortnite X Adventure Time and how I thought it was cool, and also talked about how like we aren't getting the original unacceptable line for Lemon Garb because of controversy with the original voice actor. But it was, but it's all good here. It's all good here. Just chatting to Twitch while trying to finish this puzzle. Okay. How's your day been for you? Okay, come on. Okay. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I think I might need to look through the box again to find more of the sky for the right side up, because I feel like I'm missing a few in this area of all the pieces that I have for it. There we go. And do. What's something good to talk about? I also saw on Twitter that there's been some leaked stuff about how there could be a possible Office collab. I've seen bits of The Office, but I haven't seen like the entirety of the show. But The Office is a very iconic show. That is a fact. There are a lot of funny stuff. The bloopers for that show is funny. I did see a few bloopers for The Office. I get it sometimes on my TikTok feed, and it is funny to kind of look at. But it is interesting how they're. I wonder. It's gonna be interesting on how they're going to do this collab. Oh, they do seem to fit together, but they don't. This piece here doesn't go. Maybe it does. It's just. Oh yeah, it does. I think I didn't put in the right piece. Yeah, there we go. Fixed it. Oh, there we go. Now I'm getting somewhere. Hey yo. The more the pieces connect, the more closer I get to completing it. Ooh, not quite fit there. Nor there either. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to figure this out because I am good at puzzles. It does take time. And that's a good thing. You should be taking time with puzzles. Wait, does it go? Ooh, no, it does not go there. I gotta move my arm a bit. Gotta put my hand. Gotta fist pump the ear a bit. Hold on. That should be better. Alright. There's a lot of pieces over on this other side. Yep. And I'm just kind of looking through all the pieces that are on. Looking through the pieces that are part of the right side up, mostly the sky, because I think I should probably try and start working from there and then try working my way down to the middle between the right side up and the upside down, and then eventually work on the sky for the upside down. And something that really confuses me about this puzzle is why is the lab exactly the same? Like, why is the lab in the upside down exactly in the same position as the lab in the right side up? Because I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. Because if the upside down is supposed to be a mirror image of the right side up, and if you were to kind of draw it, it would basically be on this side. Like, it would be in the same position as if you were to place it upside down. So say, like, if you were to draw a picture with a line across it and put a tree on the left side, on the right side, and then put a tree on the left side, on the right side up, and then flip it upside down and draw a tree in the same position in the upside down, it would still, if you were to keep flipping it over and over and over again, the tree would still be at the same position. In this puzzle, the lab is basically in the same, it's like underneath it. And that doesn't make sense to me. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a text from my mom. But, like, I don't, like, this puzzle is kind of confusing me because, like, how is that working? Because, like, shouldn't the lab be exactly in the same position as it is on the right side up, but just upside down? If I were to draw it, it would make a lot of sense than me explaining it, but, like, there's something about this puzzle that does kind of make me confused, and that's the lab in both the right side up and the upside down are both right underneath each other, and I don't think that's supposed to be correct. The lab in the upside down should be more to the right, because if you were to flip the image of this puzzle, the lab would still be on the left side. And then if you were to flip it the right way again, flip it back to the right way again, the lab would still be in the same position. That's just how I see it. There's sort of a bit of a mistake with this puzzle, with like the design of it. I can see it. I don't think anybody, if, like you guys can't see it, but I can see it. It's there. If I were to explain it with a drawing, then like it would make a lot more sense. Because then you would actually be able to see it. And my iPad is going off again. It is very annoying that the thing doesn't go off exactly when my phone goes off. Hey, got a piece connecting. This is good news. We can finally be bees. I always keep quoting that. We can finally be bees meme. I don't know why I quote it a lot, but that's just something I just kept saying. I think for like the past couple of streams, and probably in my first few streams, I kept saying it. Okay, so I understand that those pieces go there, so. So, gotta go back into the box again. Because I need to find more pieces to the right side up. Oh my god. That damn iPad doesn't know when to shut up. Well, it is old. Yeah, if you guys keep hearing a dinging in the background, I have a iPad that's kind of out of date, and I haven't used it in a long time, and I'm just gonna try and use it for all this, for like making content and stuff. And sometimes when I get text, the text will come straight instantly to my phone, but then after a few seconds later, my iPad will go off. I might need to see if I can try and silence it, because I think I can. I'm probably thinking, and of course I probably can, because it's an Apple device. You could be able to silence all Apple devices. But if you guys keep hearing a ding in the background, that's just my iPad going off. It's very old. So, yeah, I got that iPad back in like 2019. I got it as a Christmas gift. And it was a nice Christmas gift. Okay, let's see. Any more pieces? Still kind of digging. Oh, I think I'm finding more pieces to this, like, little shrub type thing. I think that's what it is. It's like pieces to, like, the trees. Or it could. Oh wait. Oh, it's the ground. Okay, never mind. I think it's supposed to be the ground. Yep, it's supposed to be the ground. Finding more ground pieces. Yep. Actually, probably see where some of these go, because then I can actually start continuing working on the ground here a bit. I believe like these go here, those go there, so. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this table, or a lot of stuff here in the area I'm trying to work in. But don't worry, I will eventually get all these pieces sorted out and eventually get all of this together. And boy, yeah, there's a lot here. There we go. Found, I think this does have to be here. It's because it is sort of like the same texture. Okay. Okay, bits tree. No, damn it. I dropped it. I dropped the piece. Crap. Found a different piece. Yeah, I think I really need to start figuring out where most of these go, cause like there's a bit too much on here, and now it's just kind of. It doesn't go there, but it does look like it does. Okay, now let's see what more. Okay. When is something good to talk about? Now, come to think of it, I stopped talking for a little bit. I stopped talking quite a lot about a certain topic. But let's see. What can I talk about? Ooh, yeah, there's. I need to really think about something. Cause like I need to talk more. And I just stopped. Now I just kind of stopped, and now I don't really have anything else to talk about. What is something good I can talk about? Something that came to mind to me yesterday while I was talking to Rem and BCA was the idea that the company, the game studio that made Cuphead, should make a DLC, with a DLC for Cuphead, and it's with indie games. And this came to me because recently the games released a music video of a song he made for the second chapter of I mean the a song for the DLC, and the animation, it showed more indie characters, like it showed like new it showed different, it showed more different um indie characters, like Among Us, Huggy Wuggy, and Mummy Long Legs, and Baldy, and Boyfriend and Girlfriend from FNF. Like, I thought that was really cool, and I feel like this should be something that the gaming company of Cuphead should actually try and do like a DLC with indie with other indie games, because it is possible now that you can be able to turn some of the most popular indie games into Cuphead bosses. Like, we've seen it in the first Cuphead music video made by the games. We had the puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's, the neighbor from Hello Neighbor, and also Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. I thought to myself, I feel like this. I feel like these since we have these music videos, I feel like we should be. I feel like the game studio for Cuphead should actually start and try doing collabs with these indie games and actually try and make a DLC out of it. And I think that would be a really interesting thing to see, and also make Cuphead come back after a while, because not a lot of people. There hasn't been a lot of talk about it in some time, and I feel like that video is certain. I feel like that video kind of did bring it back, only for a little bit, but I feel like this could actually spark a growth of talking about Cuphead again, because that game is one of the best games from the 2010s, and I think that this game should come back, but in a way where it can actually try and do collabs with other stuff, because it would be interesting to see collaborations with Cuphead, because that would be something just to really. I think that would be a really interesting thing to see, because there has been a they did do a collab with Fall Guys, where they gave the beans skins of Cuphead and Mugman, and I think that I feel like them just doing that collab kind of made it die. Okay, now I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is I feel like Cuphead should do a collab DLC, because it is possible to make to be able to turn other video game characters, mostly indie game characters, and actually make it into actual Cuphead bosses like we see in the music videos, but they kind of extend it, so they actually kind of they show more to it, and that would be a really interesting thing to actually see. And I feel like the topic of Cuphead would doing that would actually bring back Cuphead, because that game, it's not really talked about as much, but I think doing that would kind of bring back its popularity. That's what I think. This is sort of my idea that I thought of because of that, and I think it would be really cool if the game company of Cuphead could actually try working on Cuphead again and actually do like more collabs with more stuff, and I feel like doing that would be a really cool idea. It's just something I thought of because since of the music video, I thought in my head like, oh, this could be like a possibly cool like DLC and trying like something that the game company studio could actually try and do to kind of bring back Cuphead, but also do collaborations because those music videos were really cool, and I really thought like those like I thought it actually existed. Like I even tried to like go to the spot where Cuphead went in the Brothers in Arms video because like I seriously thought that that thing was real, and I feel like if they actually did do that, I feel like they should make like an entire like section like they did with the DLC and like making a whole like make a new whole like story that kind of goes with it and like actually like at least try and do something like really interesting because like Cuphead was a really good game back in the day. Like I really enjoyed Cuphead. I have it on Steam. Haven't I think like the last time I played that game was like back like I played that during a vacation because I didn't really know what else to do, and also I had my Steam Deck there and I wanted to play something, and I did play like Fallout 4 during that vacation, but I also did play like a little bit of Cuphead because it's like it was a while since I did play it, so I wanted to try and get back on it after a very long time. But like I think my idea of like doing a collab DLC for Cuphead would be like a really cool idea to kind of bring back the game, but also try and like have the game company try and do something new and try and like bring back Cuphead as a whole. That's just what I think. Cause like I think being like actually doing a DLC collab would be like a really cool idea. Cause you kind of rarely see collabs with Cuphead like within the game itself than from like other forms of games like Fall Guys. Like I want to see actual collaborations in Cuphead because that would be really cool. And maybe sometime later in the future, I can play some Cuphead because I do like it and I want to try. Maybe I should try playing it again after some time. But like, yeah, I do want to play Cuphead on stream because like it is one of my favorite games from my childhood, and I would like to play it again. That was something that I th- I think that a DLC in a DLC for Cuphead that is all about collabs would be a really cool idea, in my opinion. Yay. Did find a piece for the Upside Down, and now I have a full picture of Will Byers. Let's go. I think I found a piece that goes to the lab. Yes! Yes, indeed, I did. Oh, wait, could it actually be the other way around? Oh, it did. It was for the other. It was for the other side. Hey, let's go. I'm getting more I'm getting closer to actually getting this done. Don't worry. This puzzle will be done eventually. I can promise you that. This puzzle will get done. Probably tomorrow's stream. This is going to still continue on. Or actually, you know what? I might take a break from the puzzle for time. Maybe start it up again next week. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'll play Dead by Daylight on stream tomorrow, and then next week on Tuesday I'll start continuing this up again. Okay. Yay! Found a piece that connects. Yeah. So tomorrow for the stream, I will play Dead by Daylight because I need to start getting back onto gaming again. But I also want to try out using my Switch controller because I know that I have tried it before, connecting it to the Switch. It does work. So I'm gonna try using that to play Dead by Daylight because like playing on like the keyboard, like I can play on the keyboard, but it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult sometimes because like sometimes like me trying to press the space won't have a like it doesn't react in time, so I'm going to use a controller, and I'm also way better at playing Dead by Daylight on controller, so I'm going to try doing that to make it more interesting. key. Come on. Ooh, hold on. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait, maybe it goes on over here. It does seem like it. Maybe it could be part of the lab. I don't think so. Okay. It didn't work. Okay, now let's get this. I think this goes. Yeah, this definitely goes to grass. Yep, found it. Yeah, so tomorrow I am going to be playing Dead by Daylight because I need to try doing some more gaming again. Try out playing on the controller while on the desktop mode off my Steam Deck, and also possibly get some more clips because it's been some time since I posted clips onto my social medias, specifically YouTube and TikTok. I want to start doing that again because it's been a while, and that is something I do want to try and do while I am doing Twitch. So yeah, so that is the reason why I wanted to try doing some more gaming again, and also probably try and take a break from this for a little bit, because really there isn't really much. I'm trying to find something to talk about, but it is kind of hard to try and do that, and also I'm trying my best to get this puzzle done. So yes, that's really the plan for tomorrow's stream. If anybody wants to come on by. Let's see. This goes up there. This is more woods. I think this kind of goes over here because it looks like it from this piece. This piece I'm seeing right here. Yes, it does. It seems like it goes there, but it does not quite. Let's go. Uh, we only have 15 minutes left until the stream is over. Hope you guys had a wonderful day today. And tomorrow is, of course, Friday, which is exciting. We have made it another week. And we have made it another week into 2026. And yeah, that's really all I'm trying. That's really all I'm trying to say. And that's all I really got to say. Because like I don't really know what to talk about now. Because I think I talked a lot about more about how I felt about AI, how I think Kai's been doing, lately, my opinions on like how school should be changed, on how driving lessons should be changed too, and all that. If you want to rewatch this, if you're rewatching the stream, just kind of giving a little bit of a recap of what happened. Okay. Ooh. Still trying to find where all these pieces go. I brought out a lot of pieces, but I actually haven't found out where they actually go to. Yeah. Uh, actually, you know what? I might. No, I'm gonna end the stream a little bit early today. Thank you all for those who showed up today. Tomorrow I'll be playing some Dead by Daylight to take a break from my puzzle journey for a little bit. This will continue Tuesday at 3:15, same exact time as I always been doing lately. Thank you all for joining in to the stream, and also thank you for watching for those who watched the rerun of this. I've been Connor, aka Super Mega Man 10, and I will see you all tomorrow on Dead by Daylight. See you. See you guys tomorrow, and this journey will continue next Tuesday. So, yeah. See ya.